Hello, my name is Sean from netSec. Today we're going to go over the tutorial 1 of our software challenges. This is a very basic crack me, especially in the .NET world. Basically we have text box, we need to guess the right password, and it's going to give us a code, and we can use that code, if this would have been real level, back on the netSec website to track our progress, and it'll award us skill points. So I'm going to use Trusty Reflector, and this version of Reflector has Reflex IL installed on it, which makes this tool very powerful and very handy. But for this first tutorial, for the first few tutorial levels, you don't need to make modifications to the underlying IL. We're just going to be kind of spying, taking a look at the underlying IL, see what our values are, and then see if we can't determine what's going on and guess our password that way. So I'm going to just open this one up. So we got our, you got your properties, you got your resources. If you're used to developing in the .NET environment, this all looks very familiar. Here's our program, and we have our main entry point. And we can see it's calling our form 1. There's always a couple different approaches, and there are tons of different ways that you can pass crack me levels. You can be very elegant and trying to make very small surgical changes. Other people just kind of scorch earth it and take out all the code around it, just like bypass everything. And it's all up to your style. It's how hard you want to make it, how few modifications do you want to do. And that can be a goal in how you approach some of these things. If this was real and you weren't just doing against crack me's, and say, you had to make a modification to a program at your work, and you might want to make as surgical and tiny changes as possible, because if you go in there and scorch earth it, and you're, removing and, nulling out all these opcodes and IL, you could have serious issues in the other part of the application. So there's always different approaches, there's always different styles and how you want to do it. Tools also vary. Personally, I prefer Reflector, although a lot of people have been going away from Reflector, especially since they started charging. So there's other tools. You can go on the netSec website, you can see kind of different debuggers that you might be able to use, and a bunch of different options. So here we're just going to start tracing down our execution tree. We know we drop into main first, and we can see that it's going to call form 1 first. Now here, so you got a constructor, initialize component, nothing really interesting here. But we can see here we got a button, our check button click. And we can see that, oh, okay, yeah, so we click that button, and it's comparing the password text value to this string right here. If you were doing this probably in a PE, x86, assembly type of stuff using like Ollie, you wouldn't start at the top of the program. I mean, there's too much assembler, there's too much stuff just to wade through to do that. So what you would do is you would find a reference point, something that can jump you close to where you're at. This might be something we're looking for, a value to compare against, a button, the name of the button or the value that's in it or something like that. You search Ollie, find that, and then you kind of go from there. That gets your bearings. With IL, we don't really have that problem. Larger applications, you might. I mean, it's going to one place, and things are calling that, different threads are firing, so you might need that approach in larger applications. Assuming this is very simple crack me, we were able to just kind of go through the program. So we're going to try out this value, 6H6T, crack me. And it worked. So if this would have been a real challenge level, I'd supply that code back to netSec, go to award skill points, and then I can go on and try other challenges. But assuming this is a tutorial level, I don't need to worry about it. Now, we didn't make any IL modifications. It doesn't get easier than this. It was there, it was unencrypted, it was easy for us to do. As you go through the tutorials and you go through the challenge levels, you'll need to make modifications, you'll need to do a lot more and that will really show you the power of Reflex IL, Reflector, or any of the other IL tools that you're using, and then how you can kind of bypass program flow. Thanks for watching this tutorial. If you want any more information, or you want to try challenge levels or more tutorial levels and more information, go to .netsec.com. Thank you.